Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Skaggs Garage. I know I've been gone a long time. Family stuff. That's all I got to say. And everybody out there knows what that is. And when you got to deal with family, you got to deal with family. Because if you can't do for family, what good are you? In the words of my Uncle James. Anyway, just a little maintenance stuff today. And I know you guys are all waiting for the airbag suspension. You're waiting on the cafe bike deals. It's just been a crazy past couple months, but I do want to get some maintenance stuff out of the way on Claudine. Got to get big girl taken care of before we do the airbag stuff. I got to do brakes. I need to do an oil change. That's what I'm doing today in the garage. Just kind of getting my mind right. Got the game on. Once I do all that, I'm gonna get it to the alignment shop. We're going to get an alignment done, and then we're going to rip the suspension out and do the airbags. Now, am I going to do the airbags before I do the bikes? The bikes are kind of going to be a long-term project, but then again, so is airbags. But we're going to get at it today. Thanks for joining me today in Skaggs Garage. Welcome. All right. Old Lincoln has old brake calipers that were used on a lot of old cars. The only thing that holds this caliper on is a bolt, one bolt, and a wedge that's got to be knocked out of here. I'll show you what I mean. There's the bolt that holds the wedge in place. And this is the wedge here. So I'm going to take a screwdriver and a hammer. And this is what was wedged in there. This acts as a spring to even further hold the wedge in place. These can be purchased. You don't, if they look okay, you don't have to buy new ones, but it's always good when you change your brakes, change the brake hardware. This is brake hardware. Okay. Now to get these off, just kind of pry up. Loosen them up. And just as hard as they are to get off, they're bare to get back on too. There we go. And your one brake pad mounts it right up in there. And the other one sits on this side over here. That's it. The only reason I'm cleaning this off as I go is because I am going to reuse the cap. Here we go. Inside of the rotor, we have, clean this out some. We have a cotter pan, come out. Here we go. Always replace your cotter pins. because that's what holds your wheel on. Actually holds your rotor on, and your wheel is bolted to your rotor. This is a little castle nut. When you put this on here, there's actually a hole through the axle that the cotter pin goes into, and it locks into one of these little grooves, and it keeps the nut itself from, because see, the nut's not really that tight. It keeps the nut from backing off. So we have the nut. And we have a washer. And we have the outer wheel bearing. And we'll put new wheel bearings in the new rotor. And it's got a little gravity to it. That's it. That's what the backside looks like. And that's what the axle looks like. Start with the, see the rollers in there, and you gotta pack grease all in there. So that's what I'm doing. Turn it, pack it until it starts coming out the other end as best as you can tell. What I like to do, once I get it packed in all the way around, no, just kidding, is I'll get it built up all the way around on the edges, like that. Put it in my hand, and I'll cover the top and push it. I can see it coming through, you can't. And flip it over and do the other side, the top side, or the outer side. Thing is, as you're tightening it, you want to turn it. Now, as you saw when I took it off, that it didn't have to be too tight, but you really wanted to seat the bearings. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on here. I'm just basically getting to where it stops. Because if you put too much pressure on it, you'll have premature bearing failure. And then once it's on there, back it off just a hair. thing standing between you and your wheel coming off. Just kidding. But it is. Brake rotor comes coated in oil to keep it from rusting. So you want to get the oil off. Should slide in here. See that or not? To be honest, I soaked those brake line nuts overnight and they still wouldn't break free. So what I did was soak them again with penetrating lube and break out the butane torch. Now what that does, it expands the metal, lets the penetrating lube flow down in there, and finally I was able to get it broken free. So just in case you were wondering why I was creating a fire underneath my car. And this is old school, man. Hand-packed grease into your wheel bearing. You buy them now, they come all assembled. You don't have to get this dirty. You don't have to endure the smell. And it is very offensive smelling. I mean, it smells bad.